Three news stories. Viewers, firstly, Ethiopian PM, Ethiopian government had invited Ethiopian diaspora for Christmas holidays. Large number of Ethiopians living abroad have arrived in Ethiopia for Christmas holidays. They are being received, they are being welcomed in Addis Ababa, in Afar, other parts of Ethiopia. What's happening? What is this diaspora being briefed by Ethiopian government? Secondly, viewers, Sudan, where once again today protests are about to start, and streets have been blocked with barbed wires, and some UAE made vehicles are being used to monitor protesters. This interesting bit of information for you. And lastly, viewers, we have been discussing about drones, that Ethiopian government has drones. How can Tigray acquire drones? Can Tigray acquire any anti-drones? Now, Tigray-backed news sources say that Tigray has acquired a ground drone. What is a ground drone? Drones fly in the air. But Tigray-backed news sources have shared some pictures. They say that it is a ground drone. We'll talk about this ground drone. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian diaspora has arrived. Large numbers of Ethiopians have arrived in Addis Ababa. They are being warmly welcomed, no doubt about that. All Ethiopian departments, they are welcoming them. We have seen several ceremonies to welcome, to brief these diaspora members. The diaspora members have visited Samra they were welcomed in Samra, Afar. And today, mayor of Addis Ababa, Adenich Ababe, named a park after diaspora. The park has been named Diaspora Park. The diaspora is being briefed about alleged TPLF's atrocities against Afars and Amharas as well. Briefings are being given showing infrastructure damage allegedly caused by Tigray People Liberation Front fighters. Ethiopian government is obviously in need of money. It is in need of support as well, diplomatic support. This diaspora has played a key role. I want to talk to this diaspora viewers because I know this channel is watched across the world. Dozens of viewers from across the world stay in touch with you on a daily basis. I want to talk to you. If you are in Ethiopia, if you are visiting Ethiopia, yes, it's your country. Please request Ethiopian government to find a peaceful solution to this conflict. If diaspora keeps on backing financially, diplomatically, morally, Ethiopian government, if it keeps on backing Ethiopian government, this war will not come to an end. You need to put pressure upon Ethiopian government. In the same way, Tigrayan diaspora should also put pressure upon Tigray government that it should try to find a way out of this crisis peacefully. This is the time, viewers, when this diaspora is visiting Ethiopia. This is the time when you are being briefed about damage caused by this war. Please raise question, ask them why is that there is no solution to this problem. TPLF cannot be decimated completely. It cannot happen. It's a reality. It's a political force. It's a party representing a region. So that is why I would request Ethiopian diaspora, Tigrayan diaspora, please join hands. Please be united if you want to end this war. Otherwise you will keep on fueling this conflict. Secondly, for Sudan, where once again massive protests are expected today. People have started their protests, and in calming hours, we could see massive gatherings across Sudan, especially in Khartoum, where main roads have been blocked with barbed wires. The protesters are about to start their protest. UAE's name is being heard in Sudan regarding the monitoring of these protests. We have been hearing about UAE provided drones being used by Ethiopian government against Tigray Defense Force. Tigray-backed sources say that UAE's drones, Wing Long 1 drones, are targeting civilians in Alamata, in Koram, in Mehoni. Civilians have been killed, Tigray-backed news sources say, and drones which were used by Ethiopian government were UAE provided Wing Long 1 drones. Now we are hearing about UAE provided vehicles which are being used in Sudan to monitor, to carry out surveillance of protesters. Reportedly, several shipments of Sandstorm pickups S24 model 4WD vehicles have arrived in Sudan. Sudanese activists say that these vehicles, UAE-made vehicles, are being used to monitor protesters. And the vehicles are parked. No one knows. People think these are private vehicles. But reportedly, these vehicles are being used by Sudanese government officials for spying, for monitoring, for surveillance of protesters and protests. Once again, massive protests are expected, and Sudanese forces, again, ready to use force. Abdullah Hamdok gone, he has resigned. New Prime Minister due to be nominated in coming hours. Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, Sudanese army chief, is not willing to step back. And Sudanese protesters are relentless too, viewers. We have seen several rounds of protests. More than 50 have been killed so far, but they do not want any role of Sudanese military in politics. Sudanese protesters want a complete civilian rule, which does not seem possible. I mean, the Sudanese military has been in power for decades. This military will not relinquish its tight grip of power so easily. Let's see. We're waiting for the nomination of new PM. We'll brief you about that. Lastly, viewers, we have been discussing about Tigray's anti-drone weapons and the possibility that can Tigray acquire any drones. I did a video on that, a very detailed video. And some analysts have been saying that Tigray might be in possession of some aircrafts, though we don't have any evidence. Now, Tigray has ground drone. Tigray-backed sources are saying that Tigray has one ground drone, which is very effective against tanks. I have not heard about any ground drone so far. This is the first time that I am hearing this term being used, ground drone. The ground drone is a person, viewers. He is a TDF soldier. His name is Abriha Germa. And he is said to be a ground drone. And he says that so far he has destroyed 23 tanks. That is why he has been named as ground drone. You can see his picture on your screen. Tigray Defense Force does have anti-tank weaponry. We know that. And some of this weaponry is guided, viewers. Tigray has guided anti-tank munitions. That is why this TDF fighter was able to hit some tanks with precision, with accuracy. Tigray has some man pads as well. It has these anti-tank guided munitions too, but obviously no drones like TB2s and Wing Long 1. People say, Sajid, when you report about TDF's gains, you're very energized, very active, very happy. When you report about the losses, you are very down. What's the reason behind that? I have been facing this criticism since the start of this channel, that whenever I report about one party's gains, the other party always accuses me of being on the payroll of the party whose gains I'm reporting. It has been happening. I am not a happy man covering this war. I always call for peace. These people who are fighting, they are sacrificing their lives for nothing. Tigray, Amhara, Oromia, their innocent civilians, their youth is being wasted. I do not see any heroes in this war. We talked about this guy, Ground Drone. I do not see anyone as a hero. He is not a hero. You are destroying, you are being destroyed. I heard about some Amhara fighters as well who were being appreciated for having destroyed some equipment or for having killed large number of Tigrayan fighters. I never see any of these persons as heroes. They are the victims of this crisis. Hero would be the one who will find a way out of this crisis. Who will be that hero? From Amhara, from Tigray, from Oromia side. That remains to be seen. Thanks for watching.